Yes, everyone, how are we doing? And welcome to a new video on the Biased Man City fan YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing that shock exit in the Club World Cup. We're officially out of the competition. Al Hilal have beaten us 4-3 in extra time. It was an absolutely mental game, a crazy game. Look, let's get into it. I've got a lot to say. Look, I'll be honest with you, I did not expect to be making this video. If you watch my last video right until the end, you'd have heard a little monologue from me going on at the end of it saying, oh, I'm going to be on holiday for the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, but I'll be back for the final should Man City get there. And I did say every single time, should City get there, if City get there, but deep down, the fact I'm even talking about quarterfinals and semi-finals and all, I won't be able to make videos for them. Deep down, I had a strong feeling that we would be there. Sort of complacency, yes, I suppose, but could you blame me after how good we were in the group stages? I mean, the title of that video compared to this title of the video, the contrast is going to be hilarious because I'm pretty sure in that other one, it was something about City dominating the Club World Cup. And then a few days later, it's an exit. We've been beaten by Al Hilal. Honestly, look, let's get into the game of football. As much as it's a common phrase in football, it was a game of two halves. The first half was pretty decent from City, to be fair. A little bit of cruise control. We probably should have came out of it with maybe another goal, 2-goal lead. But we'll see with the fight by the better team in the first half. But nothing could have prepared me for what I was going to entail, what I was going to watch for the rest of the game. I was going to say second half, but just for the rest of the game. It was poor from Manchester City. I think for a lot of this game, the positives were massive. The positives were brilliantly positive. The negatives were atrocious from Manchester City. You know, that was the case. I mean, look, you've got to give some credit to Al Hilal. Yes, they put up a fight, they put in a graft, and you know, with the effort that they put in compared to how poor City were defensively, you can make a valid point that they deserved to get through. You know, City, we really let ourselves down. But look, let's get into the actual game of football. We'll go in chronological order as I normally do with these videos, and then if you read the title of this video, it's something along the lines of, you know, we need to have some very uncomfortable conversations about Manchester City's exit, and that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. It could be a long one, but stick with me through it. Some interesting talking points. So look, as for the actual game itself, it was a quick start from Manchester City. It was a nicely worked goal. We go 1-0 up around 10 minutes into the game. Bernardo Silva, captain Bernardo Silva, put us in the lead. It was a nice little worked goal by two of our new signings, Ait-Nouri and Tijjani Reynolds. Tijjani Reynolds played a nice ball through to Ryan Ait-Nouri. Nice little skill. There was a long delay because it touched his arm, but it was never, ever, ever a handball. I don't know why it took him as long as it did, but yeah, we go 1-0 up with Bernardo Silva. It just sort of drops to him. He finishes it off, and as I said, City coast the first half. Then we get into the second half, and we concede. Let me have a look. What is it? We concede within 40 seconds. 40 seconds it took us to concede. Malcolm, the Brazilian winger, you might remember him from his days at Shakhtar Donetsk, if I remember that correctly. He was at Barcelona at one point in his career. It didn't work out too well there. Well, it worked out well from today. You know, he just danced through our team, danced past Ait-Nouri, danced past Rangers, danced past, I think it was Gvardiol at the time, or maybe Ruben Diaz, I'm not sure which defender, but he made fun of us, played a ball out wide into Cancelo. Cancelo, yes, former Man City player Cancelo, whips the ball in, and it's 1-1. They finish it off, and it's such a quick, just like that from the second half. You thought whatever Pep said to them at half time, it's clearly gone through one ear and out the other, because within 40 seconds we conceded. It was disgusting. And then it just got from bad to worse. 51st minute, we conceded our second goal. That's 2 goals in 6 minutes. And get on this, right? Get on this. We conceded from our own corner. We conceded from our own corner. I've spoke about in my last video about the set pieces and City, and to be fair, we did score a couple of goals from corners today, so this clearly is making a difference still. But offensively, defensively, we need to work on him. Even from our own corner, like I said. Bernardo puts a ball in, it's cleared out, it falls to one of there. I think it was Cancelo again. Yeah, falls to João Cancelo. He puts in a beautiful pass, and it was a beautiful pass through to Malcolm. And again, Malcolm works his magic, 1-on-1 Ederson, and there was only one winner. And we're 2-1 down 51 minutes in. And after such a comfortable first half, we're not even 7 minutes into the second half, and we're looking like the game's on its head. We're thinking, how has this happened? But then, to be fair, City did sort of wake up a little bit after that. We got another corner. We had a lot of corners this game, by the way. Don't know what the stats were, but I would predict at least 15 corners this game, genuinely. Bernardo Silva puts in a nice ball. It drops around Nathan Ake. It's a little bit scruffy. Nathan Ake, Haaland, both of them at it. Drops to Erling Haaland, puts the ball in the back of the net, and you're thinking, right, come on. Let's get another. Let's take the lead. Let's put the game back in our control, yeah? Good idea, yeah? Yeah. No. 90 minutes finishes 2-2, and I'm thinking, look, at the time it was at 2 a.m. kickoff, by the way, for us Blues who stayed up. 2 a.m. kickoff, and we're thinking, wow, extra time, and he winding us up. And then we start extra time, a quick start, and we concede from a corner. They actually took the corner this time. Koulibaly, former Chelsea defender, formerly heavily linked with Manchester City when he was at Napoli. Bullet header. Ederson probably should have done better. Didn't even die for it. A little bit disappointing, but yeah, they take the lead once again, 3-2. And then City respond again. It was like ping pong this game. When I'm talking about it here, as I said, it's like table tennis. It's like ping pong. Our 3-3, our third goal, by the way, beautiful goal, well worked goal. Beautiful ball from Ryan Cherki into the path of Phil Foden. I think it was the first time finish, sort of on the volley, half volley, whatever it was. It fell to him first time finish, near post. I thought he got injured through finishing it because the Al Hilal defender sort of wiped him out while he was attacking the ball, but Phil Foden put the ball in the back of the net and he continued, which was good to see. Of course, came on in extra time, which I'd have definitely brought him on sooner with how well he's already played in this tournament, but we'll discuss that later in the video, like I said. And then 3-3. We're into the second half of extra time, and I'm thinking, please, City, please. All I'm thinking at this point, and I'm saying, because I was live on TikTok for the whole game, the entire game, long live, so if you were part of that, then thank you. You stuck with me throughout the entire thing, and it was a long one, like I said, but I'm saying to the chat, I'm saying to everyone, and we're all going, look, we can't let this go to penalties. We know Ederson is pretty poor at saving them. As far as the players on the pitch are pretty poor at putting them back in the back of the net. The Al Hilal goalkeeper, Bono, we all know how good he is at saving penalties. We're thinking, just don't take it to penalties. Don't just please, City, get a goal. Don't take it to penalties. And look, we didn't take it to penalties. We managed to concede. Happened to concede the game-winning goal for Al Hilal, their fourth goal, the 4-3 winner. We happened to concede that from Ederson's first save of the entire 120-odd minute match. Or maybe longer because of additional time and every single break and everything like that. Over 130 minutes of football. Ederson's first save of the game, like 112th minute. That's how we conceded. Cancelo, someone, anyway, I can't remember. Sorry. By the way, can I just say, the commitment on this, if you've not already, subscribe to the channel, drop a thumbs up, because I'm filming this right now. It's bang on 6 in the morning. I have watched the game, put my video out on TikTok, and now I've gone straight to filming a YouTube video just to get it all out in one go. Alright, so that is commitment. I'm knackered, so sorry if I'm a little bit slower than normal. Sorry if I'm not as enthusiastic as normal, but it is what it is. I just want to get this out as soon as possible for you. So yeah, anyway, they put a ball in the box. Ederson, a decent-ish save actually, but he just parries it straight into the path. Not into the path, he just parries it into the actual body of the Al Hilal attacker. And it was impossible for him to not score. You know, it was... I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, and then yeah... Anyway, a bit of time wasting, a bit of dark arts, and Al Hilal deservedly somewhat win. They're through to the next round. They play Fluminense, which you looked at the bracket City run as well. It was a very favourable bracket for City. The way we dismantled Juventus, how good we were in the group stages. I'm genuinely stunned about this performance. I'm taken aback by it. And look, the thing is for me, it's not going out of this tournament that's the issue. While City were in it, and I'll be honest, I have enjoyed the tournament a lot more than I thought I would have. And during the match, if you were there throughout the live, then you'd have known I cared about it. I'm not going to pretend I don't care. Because I care whenever City were playing anything. We could be playing bingo and I'd care, do you know what I'm saying? I did care. But going out in the competition isn't what I'm overly concerned about. It's the fashion that we did it in. How poor we were defensively. How vulnerable we looked. You know, the team we did it against, Al Hilal. If it was a PSG or Bayern Munich, something like that, then I'd get it. But Al Hilal, I get they might be the best team in Asia. But this is a team that won a treble a couple of seasons ago. This is a team that, you know, a couple of seasons ago won back-to-back Premier League titles. We should be dominating Al Hilal. I'm sorry not to disrespect them, but I think City should be beating a team like Al Hilal. They're no pushovers, but they're definitely no team like Manchester City. And it's not only that, it's the timing of it. It's, as I said, I'm filming this at 6 in the morning. Kickoff was 2 a.m. The game finished at like 5 in the morning, 5:15, whatever it was, I don't know. I've lost count of time, lost track of time now, but the timing of it. If this was an 8 o'clock kick-off, and it might have been found it a little bit easier to take, but it's the fact we've all committed to being up at this time that just makes it even just that extra little bit harder to swallow. But anyway, I said with the title of this video that it's so uncomfortable conversations we need to have, and I've noted a list of them right here on my laptop. You can't see it obviously, but I've got a list of them here that we need to get into, and yeah, I need my bed, so let's get into. So the first man we're going to have a conversation on, first player, I don't think it'd be very difficult for you to work this one out. Ederson. I think we may as well just hit the nail on the head, start it off strong. There's an uncomfortable conversation to have here because I love Ederson. I'm a big fan of Ederson, and it was only a couple of weeks ago, maybe even less than that, maybe a week ago, when he was doing an interview with whoever, I don't know, and he said, oh, like, my head is in City, my heart is with City, I'm staying this year. I hear a lot of fake rumours, but 99% of it's fake. I'm here with City, all that stuff. And I made a video on my TikTok channel saying about how I'm happy about it because I love Ederson. And he's, you know, obviously he's the best in the world with the ball at his feet. But I said I still feel like his shot-stopping ability is underrated because of how good he is with the ball at his feet. And look, I do stand by what I said. One game or a couple games doesn't change that. But I love Ederson. And I never thought, because of, I mean, I'm a goalkeeper. I grew up idolising Joe Hart. I wanted to be Joe Hart. I never thought I'd see a better goalkeeper in a City shirt than Joe Hart. And I think we've seen one in Ederson. That treble-winning season was exceptional. What he's done for City in the Premier League over the years has been exceptional. Last season was a drop-off. Of course, he struggled with injuries and stuff like that. That game then was a disaster. As I said before, he made his first save in the second half of extra time, which is just ridiculous. And I think it was a similar scenario with the Juventus game. We conceded 2. I'm pretty sure they only had 2 shots on goal the entire game. Something like that, maybe 3. Don't know. But he's been poor. He's been poor. And I don't know. I don't know what to do with Ederson because, as I said, I love him and we know how good he is. But should City go into the market for a new goalkeeper? There's options there. That Diogo Costa's mentioned enough times. He could be leaving Porto. There's a release clause there. We could do it. He'd be open to the move. I don't know. I just don't know. Don't know what it is. And his contract runs out at the end of this upcoming season, the 25-26 season. Look, I don't want to rush into any decision. I don't want to, just as I said, I'm filming this right after the game. I don't want to come on too strong or too reactionary or anything like that. So we'll talk about it in the upcoming month, okay? But I think at least there's a question to be had. There's a conversation to be had around Ederson's future at City because, like I said, there was a drop-off last season. For a goalkeeper, you should be able to rely on your goalkeeper to stay fit. And for Ederson, the past couple of seasons, as mad as it sounds for a goalkeeper, and this is coming from one, you should be able to stay fit, surely. You know, it's just, yeah, I don't know. Conversation to be had. He was really, really poor against Al Ahly. So, yeah. That's one done. Ederson. Next up, Ryan Aït-Nouri. Look, I don't want to go too heavy on him because I think his start to Manchester City life has been pretty good. Been very impressed with him. I think offensively, brilliant, so skillful with the ball, very creative. Played a great part, like I said, in opening the game with that 1-0. Nice little move. I think today, defensively suspect. I thought Malcolm and Cancelo, to be fair, anytime any of them were really one-on-one with him, they had the beating of him pretty, especially when they doubled up on him, it was very difficult for him. And of course, I mean, look, if Rodri was starting and was 100% fit, or even Ruben Diaz was half decent today, and helped him a little bit more, then we might have been better off. But yeah, I thought Aït-Nouri was a little bit, he struggled today defensively, so that is something that we might have to keep an eye on. But yeah, I still am happy with the signing. I think he's been a brilliant signing, and I think there's more to come. So yeah, Aït-Nouri I'm happy with. And since we made that little dig at Ruben Diaz before, I really wasn't happy with his performance today. I'm a man who loves Ruben Diaz. I think he should be wearing the armband. I think he's one of the best Premier League centre-halves, full stop. He's brilliant. And when he's at his best, Man City are at the best. If Ruben Diaz has a brilliant game, Man City win. Simple as that. You know, that's just the way it is. He's a fantastic centre-half. But in this Al Hilal game, he was atrocious at times. He was just ridiculous. You know, I think the thing is, City struggled on the counter-attack a lot this game. We really struggled, and his lack of pace didn't exactly help. He's not the type of centre-half to make 30-yard run back and make a tackle. He's someone who sort of defends and makes a tackle straight away, one-on-one defender. And he struggled today. But the moment of madness for me was that penalty. We just equalised. Haaland just equalised 2-2. We're feeling good, thinking, right, come on, let's get a third here. And he just recklessly wiped out Malcolm. It was ridiculous. And he was only a little bit offside. Was it Malcolm who made the run? I'm not too sure. I can't remember. But the player who made the run was only a bit of an arm offside. It was a ridiculously close offside call. And such a moronic foul by Ruben Diaz. I couldn't believe what I was watching. He gave us an heart attack. Wasn't impressed with his performance today. Likewise, Gavadio thought he was a little bit poor. But of course, he came off, maybe because of the yellow card, I don't know. But yeah, it was a bizarre substitution of Gavadio. I did think, with other options that we had, I wanted Cherky on earlier, wanted Foden on earlier, Marmoush earlier. We brought on Nathan Ake and Akanji. Neither of them were exactly brilliant today. It was just a weird substitution. I'd have left Gavadio on and made way for maybe Ceinho, took him off for an attacker. Don't know. That is just what I'd have done. Of course, Pep knows best, don't he? But yeah, as far as Ruben Diaz and Gavadio today, I think them two, we struggled. We just struggled defensively today. Now, look, moving on to Rodri. Of course, I'm not going to say a bad word about him. I never would. It's similar to the case for what I just said about Ruben Diaz. If Rodri has a good game, a brilliant game, then Manchester City have a brilliant game. We win the game. Rodri today, of course, came on off the bench and he struggled a little bit, to be fair. And that is probably why he came off. Pep did say at the end of the game that he was complaining a little bit about his injury. I'm hoping it's nothing serious. I'm hoping he just thought, look, it's a Club World Cup match. We're in extra time. I don't know how much else I could do. Because he was originally supposed to be taking off Bernardo Silva, didn't he? But yeah, Rodri volunteered to come off. So I'm hoping it was just a little look. I don't want to overdo it, Pep. Do you know what I'm saying? Nothing too serious. Because if we lose him again, I give up. We can't lose Rodri again. I can't be dealing with that. I really can't. I thought that Juventus game, Rodri ran the show. Really impressed with him, and I hope, of course, now there's a little break from the Club World Cup. We've got now 7 weeks until the Premier League starts. I'm hoping, and I'd imagine Rodri will be fine come the start of the Premier League because we'll need him. Last season showing it, today showing it. The difference between when Rodri started against Juventus and then when Rodri didn't start against Al Hilal, night and day. So yeah, Rodri, hoping it's nothing serious, and hoping he's fine for the new start of the season. As far as the last individual player that I want to talk about, I think I'll quickly touch on Ceinho because he has actually received a little bit of criticism. There were people complaining about him during the live. I mean, I was a bit hit and miss with him. I thought he was a little bit lost, especially in the second half. He's a little bit quiet, and not to discredit him because he's a brilliant footballer. He was a talented footballer, and I've got a lot of time for him. I think he's a brilliant player, and that goal he scored against Juventus was also fantastic, wasn't it? But he was the player I'd have took off. I was surprised he lasted the entire 120. I really thought Pep would have took him off earlier for Cherky or Marmoush or Foden, any of the three. I think would have made more sense. I think he struggled. He struggled at times today. And I mean, of course, there's only been an hour and a half since the match that I'm filming this. But from the comments I've received, the stuff I've seen online already, as far as City's attackers, he was probably City's worst, wasn't he? So, and look, the rest of the attack was pretty good. Ceinho, he struggled at times today, but I think that's more on Pep for leaving him on as long. Like, we'll get on the substitutions now. Why wait so long? The quality, I mean, the pass from Cherky to Foden was insane. They worked really well together. They're brilliant, they were dribbling together. I thought Marmoush had a good impact off the bench. All three substitutions of them were brilliant off the bench. Why didn't we do it sooner? Why didn't we take Ceinho off earlier? Why did we make the substitution of Gavadio for Nathan Ake or Akanji, either one of them? Why didn't we make way and bring on an attacker to try and spice things up? The game could have ended differently. It possibly couldn't have. Chances are it wouldn't have, okay? Not because of... It wasn't Ceinho's lack of quality going forward that was the issue. It was City's vulnerability going backwards that was the problem. So we'd have probably still been knocked out anyway, but I still think we'd have given ourselves a little bit more of a chance if we'd have brought on other substitutions earlier. It's a topic that myself included, but City fans sort of... There's not many bones you can pick at with Pep Guardiola. He's a genius. He's a godsend to football, and he's created a whole different sport, really, hasn't he? He's changed the English game, and I love and worship him. And to be fair, it's 9 years to the day that he's been in charge of Manchester City. So, what a 9 years it's been. But the substitutions, whether it's leaving them too late or making the wrong ones, is sort of something that I've had a little bit of issue with Pep here and there for a little bit of time. So, yeah, I think today was another scenario where probably got it wrong a little bit, but hindsight. And look, that's that with this video. I'm sick of being negative. I don't want to talk about any more individuals. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of time now between now and the start of the season, but Yeah, there are a few positives I suppose you could take out from this. Like I said, we've seen Rodri, we've seen Echeverri. You know, we've seen what he's about. There's been some good moments for Jeremy Doku and new signings. There's been positives to this Club World Cup. And I suppose one sort of blessing in disguise that could be is this could have given us a little bit of a wake-up call, because I know a lot of City fans of course, but I've been itching to watch this game. Genuinely have, because I enjoyed the Club World Cup group stages, Manchester City's performances in them so much. It was so nice watching City so dominant. That Juventus game, I had a blast watching all of them really, but Juventus felt like, okay, we're actually against a very competitive side now as well. The other two were, as much as City were brilliant and we dominated, like, against who, with all due respect? You know, Juventus were a top European side, and I felt like we'd achieved something, and it was like, wow, look at the football we're playing. It's so beautiful to watch. And, you know, this might be a blessing in disguise that, okay, we might actually need to go and invest once again. You know, we haven't got a right back sorted. Nunes has had a decent Club World Cup and a decent end to the season, but I still feel like we've got to get a right back. I think we need defenders with pace. We really do, actually. You know, you lose Kyle Walker, who, of course, can't go on forever, and it is the right time for Kyle Walker to move. Let me get that straight. I don't want him back, with all due respect. Thank you for your service, Kyle, but he's far past his best. But and I know we will struggle to find a defender of his pace. We won't find a defender with Kyle Walker's pace. That's why he's so unique. But we do, I think, need to reinforce at the back, because I've gone from being so confident in the way that we played against Juventus to genuinely a little bit concerned that we've got the same problems again, as far as being so vulnerable at the back, so susceptible to a counter-attack. And this is from Al Hilal. You know, as I said, they've got some talented footballers, they've got some good players here and there scattered about the pitch at a top manager. But if we're getting punished this easily, cut open this easily by Al Hilal, then I'm terrified for what Liverpool can do. And they've strengthened. Terrified for what, you know, should we play PSG again? They've strengthened. Imagine we play PSG in the Champions League. There's other teams as well. Arsenal, Crystal Palace, you know, cut us open in the FA Cup final. There's other teams, the list could go on, but that's my point. There's still issues there that were sort of, I don't know if whether I just blissfully ignored it or they were actually covered by good performances in previous games in this competition. But yeah, I suppose that is one positive now. We can see the issues that are still there. I think there still is reinvestment necessary as far as the back line. I wouldn't be surprised to still see one centre-half go. I know John Stone just spoke about him staying potentially at Manchester City. Whether that means Akanji goes, whether it means Ake goes. I don't want Ake to go, but I won't not be surprised to still see us lose a centre-half. And as I said about the goalkeeper scenario, of course, Edison's been awful, with all due respect. I love the man, but he's been awful during this competition, so I don't want to go too heavy on him, too reactionary, but there's a conversation to be had. If there's a move to be made and they think it's the right fit, the right time for Diogo Costa, then should we make it? I don't know. Conversations are there to be had. I am sorry that this video has been so low energy. I'm sorry that I spent half of this video with like a hand over my eye here, just trying to keep my eyeballs open. But I'm finishing this video at 6:30 in the morning. So I'm sure you can forgive me. I just wanted to get a video out for you as early as possible, as quick as possible, and get this discussion topic going as quick as possible. So yeah, I'm going to quickly edit this as best as I can. Sorry if it's a little bit jumbled up or a little bit messy and a few breaks in that, as you can imagine. Like I said, it's the time in the morning. I'm sure you can let me off. So yeah, thank you for taking your time to watch this video. Wasn't expecting to make it, like I said, at the end of my latest, the video prior to this about City dominating the Club World Cup. The contrast in these two videos, wow, was stark. I mean, everything still is planning on going ahead. Like I said, of course, I'll be going on holiday and my videos over on TikTok and stuff like that might dry up while I'm away, as you'd expect, because I'll have a little break. But be back with a bang, watch this space. If anyone who's live on here, because I did keep making jokes about, go subscribe to the YouTube while I was live on TikTok. It was a little bit of fun to all the new subscribers, and you know what I mean, everyone who took part in that live stream, genuinely thank you. It was a blast. The performance was a roller coaster to say the least, but that live stream generally was quite fun. So yeah, thank you for that. And yeah, thanks for watching this video. Let me know your thoughts on everything I've discussed in the comments. Make sure you follow me on TikTok, because there's a lot of certain conversations I've maybe made in here. The Edison one in particular that sticks to mind. There's other conversations that I will be having over there that I might not make into long form content on here. So if you're not already following me over on there, then go give me a follow, stay tuned, and yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Keep, give us a thumbs up and all that business. Let me know your thoughts on the video in the comments, and yeah, good night or good morning. Thank you. Go on, City.